This conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the subprograms, and we have discussed what exactly the subprograms and what is the use, how to create the subprograms inside your Apex programming, and how can we write the business logic inside it, we have discussed. Now, so today I will show you a few more examples on the subprograms, and then we'll see how to pass the parameters also to the subprograms. We'll see practically, and we'll see some practical examples also. So I have given some 3 assignments. I hope everybody has done with these assignments. So these are the 3 assignments which I have given. This code already you know. Okay, already we did this kind of example. Okay, in so many cases as part of ORM concept also we have discussed, and then collections also we have discussed. How to do that bulkification process also we have discussed. But we are writing this code inside that method itself, nothing else. Now, so let me take a small use case. Okay, let me take a small use case. Now I would like to perform some certain operations, like for example, I would like to create some contact cards. How many? I want to create 50 contact records inside my object. Okay, 50 contact records I want to create inside my object. Then how can we create 50 contact records? Now let's see practically here. I'm creating some bulk records here. Now, write in Apex class to create 50 contact records inside the object. So write an Apex class to create 50 contact records inside the object. So inside this object, contact object, I want to create 50 contact records. Now, let's see how can we do this one. So let me create a class. I want to create an Apex class. So I'm creating an Apex class right now, new Apex class. Now, contact records helper. Okay, contact records helper. So this is the Apex class which I would like to create. Now, you can give any name for your class, no problem. But upon giving the class name, please give a meaningful name. Okay, please give a meaningful name for each and every class. So now inside this class, I want to prepare a method. Public void create bulk contacts. Public void create bulk contacts. So I want to create some bulk contact records. How many contact records I want to create? 50 contact records. Then tell me, whenever if you want to perform the operations on bulk, then what needs to be done? Always we have to go with that bulkification process. Okay, so always we have to go with that bulkification process over here. Then you know that concept, bulkification concept. What needs to be done? Don't insert each and every record separately, one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. Add all these records to the collection, and then add all the collection of records into your object in one shot. Okay, so now take a basket, okay, to store that contact records, and then prepare each and every contact record and add it into that collection. Once all the contact records has been added to the collection, then we can able to insert this contact records into my object in one shot. That possibility is available to you. Now, then how can we do that? Now let's see practically this case. Now, I want to create that contact record. So I'm using this for loop. How many? 50. So I would like to iterate that for loop for 50 times. Integer counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to 50, counter plus plus. Okay. Integer counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to 50, counter plus plus. So I'm going to be iterating this for loop from 1 to till 50 times. I'm iterating this for loop from 1 to 50 times. Now, in each iteration, I want to create a contact record. Write the code to create a contact. Write the code to create a contact record. So I'm giving this comment over here in order to create the contact record. Now, contact some cyn equals to new contact. I'm creating the object of this contact class. I'm passing the value. You know, for the contact object, what fields are available. We no need to remember the fields nowadays because everything is available in the form of IntelliSense. The first name, I'm indicating that bulk. Contact dot last name. I'm indicating test contact. Hyphen, I'm adding that counter value. Like as bulk test contact 1, bulk test contact 2, bulk test contact 3, like that. Contact dot title. I'm indicating the title over here. I'm indicating the contact title. So I'm giving the title as some sales rep. I'm indicating contact dot lead source. I'm indicating like as web. Contact dot department. I'm indicating sales department. Contact dot, I'm indicating that value for the phone. I'm giving the value. Contact dot fax value. Contact dot email. Bulk contact counter @gmail.com. And then contact dot the address information. So now whenever I'm going to be adding this address information, how can we add the address information? Now let's see in this case. Now I'm adding that mailing street I'm indicating that mailing state like as some flat number, okay, 102. I'm indicating some RK heights, some Banjara Hills, some Banjara Hills. And then I'm indicating contact dot mailing city, Hyderabad. Mailing state, Telangana. Contact dot mailing country, India. Contact dot mailing postal code. I'm indicating, I'm passing the value here. I'm passing all these values over here. Once all the values have been getting supplied to create a new contact record. Now what needs to be done? Add the contact record to the collection. Add the contact record to collection. How can we do that? Now we have to prepare a collection. That means list collection. Where we need to add that, prepare the list collection before the for loop here. I'm preparing a list collection. This list collection contains what kind of elements, contact records it has to store. So I'm going to be creating the list collection which can store the contact records. LST contacts equals to new list of contact. Okay, list of contact, some LST contacts equals to new list of contact. I'm going to be creating the list of contact records. Now once the record is ready, then I need to add the record to the collection. I'm adding the record to the collection. LST contacts dot add of contact. Okay, LST contacts dot add of contact. So I'm adding this contact record to the collection. Once all the contact records has been added to the collection, then insert the contacts. Insert the contact records. Now I'm verifying. If LST contacts is not empty, if the collection is not empty, I would like to insert LST. Okay. If the collection is not empty, that means if the LST contacts nothing, but if this collection is not empty, then insert these contact records inside your collection. Inside your object, I would like to insert all these contact records. That's it, simple. Okay. So this is the business logic which I am writing inside my method. That means procedure. Now, so now here I have created a method with the name create bulk contacts, okay, which is wide. So it won't return any return type. So that this is a procedure. Now we have prepared a list collection because I'm following the bulkification process from now onwards. It's a fundamental principle wherever you go in any project, for any client, any organization for the Salesforce development, upon writing the code, always we have to follow bulkification, mandatory. The development people has to, must and should, they have to work on bulkification concept always. Why? Because is by using bulkification, we can avoid so many exceptions. By using bulkification, we can avoid so many exceptions. So that here, always we have to follow bulkification process. It's a mandatory principle. Don't write the code blindly. Okay. Now, that's what here when you go to the interview also, they will give you one paper and pen, they will give you small requirement, they will ask you to write some piece of code. Why? Because is based on your code, based on the standards you are maintaining inside the code, they can understand whether you are genuine or fake. They can guess. Straightforward. That's what here, even though you are perfect with the technical by going through all the questions in Google, like I say, Salesforce related questions, all questions, answers, even though we're explaining everything, inside your small writing of the piece of code, they can understand whether you are genuine or fake. That's what here, in every interview, they will be giving some small requirement. They will give you the paper and pen. They will ask you to write the code. Based on that coding standards, they can understand whether you are genuine or fake. So that we have to follow all these standards. It's a mandatory thing. Without the bulkification concept, we can't develop even a single program also from now onwards. It is the base rule. That is the power of collection. The main purpose of the collection is bulkification. If you're not using bulkification, then what is the use of collections? Collections is the base for entire development. Without the collection, no development. Wherever you go in the entire Salesforce development, collection will follow you. Without the collection, there is no Salesforce development at all. The main purpose of the collection is bulkification concept. This is the power. So that always you have to follow the bulkification process. Don't write the code blindly. Even though if you're a small program, okay, don't write blindly. Okay, don't write any insert statements or update statement, delete statements inside the for loop. Always follow the bulkification process over there. We can raise a question, sir, of course I'm inserting 50 records, sir, Salesforce is giving 150. Even though if it is 50 also, even though if it is 5 also, 2 also, 3 also, don't go with that manual, go with that bulkification always. Of course, right now my business requirement is for 2 records. Suppose in future my business requirement may be changing to 100 records, then at that time also my code should work. My code is not only working for one single record, my code should be able to work for 100 records also, 1000 records also. It should work. Same code has to be get work for single record processing, multiple records processing also. That's how we need to write the code. Now, so now here in this case, I'm preparing this method right now. So I'm going to be preparing the contact record. Each and every record I'm adding to the collection. Once all the records has been added to the collection, then I'm going to be inserting all the collection of records in one shot. Now,
Firoz,
yes.
In this program, like how do we print the record IDs of all the 50 contacts?
Now you can able to print. Now in this collection, you will be having that record IDs are also available. You can able to iterate that. You can print directly.
Okay.
Okay, you can iterate this collection and then you can print each and every record one by one, one by one, one by one. You can print it, no problem.
Can you show it here, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, I'm inserting these records over here. Once the records has been getting inserted, we can able to iterate this. For integer counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to 50, counter plus plus, or else you can able to iterate the collection directly. For each and every contact record CON from LST contacts. We can show that. System.debug contact record CON. We can able to print it also, no problem. Now, so now here in this case, generally how to invoke this method, we have to create the object of the class and then we can able to invoke this method by using object name that method. Okay, now let's do that here. How can we invoke? We are going to be creating the object of this class. My class name is what? Contact records helper. So I'm indicating contact helper equals to new contact records helper. And then we can invoke the method over here. Contacts helper dot, what is that method name? Create bulk contacts. Create bulk contacts. This is what we are doing, 2 lines of code. So can I reduce this number of lines of code upon invoking? Yes, there is a possibility. How? Instead of creating this object also, we can invoke this method. How it is possible here? For that one, we have to define this method as static. Whatever the method that I have prepared, whatever the procedure I have prepared, I am going to define it as static. That's it, single word. So what is the use of this static method? Static methods can be accessible directly. Okay, static methods can be accessible directly with the help of class name dot method name. Why? Because, for example, let's see, system dot debug. System is what? Class. Method is what? Debug is what? Method. I'm accessing how? System dot debug. That means class name dot method name. This is a static method. So previously we have used that. Okay, to perform the modulus operation, we are using math dot mod. Math is what? Class. Mod is what? Method. How we are accessing? Class name dot method name. So this is also static method over here. And then we are using the date class. Date dot new instance. So what is this date? Date is a class. New instance is what? Method. How we are accessing? Class name dot method name. So that means this is also a static method. Like the similar way, without creating the object also we can access a method. So now you can raise the question, sir, what is the difference? If I'm creating the object, memory will be allocated, right? Yes. If you're not creating the object, memory will allocate? No. Without allocating the memory, without consuming the memory also, we can able to invoke this method. That is the facility. So we can consume less memory, we can invoke that functionalities also, so that we can save the memory, we can improve the application performance. For that reason, no need to create the object of each and every class. We can define the method as static. Static methods can be accessible directly by using class name dot method name. Simple concept. From now onwards, we are going to be defining the methods as static. How to access the static method? Go to that class. Okay, just to go to that. No need to create the object. Just you can specify the class name dot method name. Create bulk. That's it. Over. Simple. No need to create the object, just you can access that static methods by using class name dot method name. That's it. Like a system dot debug, date dot new instance, math dot mod, time dot new instance. Like that, we can able to access it. That possibility is here. Now click on execute. Now click on execute. Now, so now PAN number is there. PAN number is a mandatory field which we need to supply right now. There is a validation is there on the PAN number field. So let me pass that here because that is a mandatory field. Inside my contact, PAN number is a mandatory field is here. Let me pass this value. I'm passing this PAN number value also. Now, if there is any duplicate rules are on contact, let me deactivate that first. Go to that setup menu. Go to the data management and go to the duplicate management, duplicate rules. If there is a duplicate rules are on contact, I would like to deactivate. There is a duplicate rule is on contact, so let me deactivate. Open this one, click on deactivate button. Now, done. So let's go to the contacts. Now let's see how many contact records are there as of now. Let me verify first. 43 contact records are available inside my object. Now I want to create how many? 50 more I'm creating right now. 50 more contacts I'm creating right now over here. Now, so now let me execute this piece of code. Invoke this method, click on execute. My request has been sent to the server. Whatever the 50 contact records are available, all the 50 contact records will be getting inserted inside the object. And then we can able to see this contact records information also. Contact record, first name, last name, title, all this information we can able to see along with ID also. This is the ID. Okay, so now this is the ID of that contact record which has been allocated by Salesforce. Okay, we can see all these 50 contact records IDs also. Okay, so this is how we are going to be creating the records inside the object. Not only one, multiple. That's what here practice is very, very important. Now, as part of development, my part is less, your part will be more. Okay, till admin part, okay, I will be giving more information. Your part is less. Because to explain each and every feature in admin, it will take more time for me. But upon doing the practice, it will take very less time. Just you can select the checkbox, click on next, it will over. But in development, I will give one example. I will give, okay, 4 assignments. Your part will be. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
You mentioned that without creating an object, we can actually call class.method.
Yes.
By doing that, we can actually save some memory. I couldn't get that point. How are we saving memory?
Now, in this case, whenever if you want to invoke this method, then we are creating the object generally. But upon creating the object will be occupying some memory, right? As part of class and object we have discussed. Whenever I'm going to be creating the object, okay, then for object memory will be getting allocated because it is holding the record values. How many record values? 50 record values it will hold internally here. Because this class will be having so many variables, so many methods also, we are creating the records also. So it is going to be occupying the memory. So we can able to reduce that allocation of the memory just by using that method as static. For the static method, there no need of any object directly. We can invoke by using class name dot method name, so that we no need to consume more memory upon execution of your program. We can consume very less memory and then we can execute the application as well very fast. Okay, so that's why here we are going to be making that method as static.
Sir, can you go a bit lower, the last line? So here you are checking the each empty condition. Then why for you are doing so?
Why? Because suppose for example here, whenever you are performing any DML operations on a collection, please cross check that. This is a fundamental principle. It's a fundamental coding standard of Salesforce. Before performing any DML operation, please check whether this collection is empty or not.
That is fine. But for loop, I'm asking why you have mentioned a for loop here. You're iterating the context.
Because here somebody has asked the question. He want to see all the IDs of this record. That's what I have written this for.
It's not mandatory, right? We don't.
It's not mandatory. Basically, he asked me to show that IDs of those contact record. That's what I have written this piece of.
Okay. Got it. So, sir, void and classic, void and static, both we have to write there, right? Or we can ignore that void also.
No. You have to write static void. That means this is a method procedure which is nothing but void. Void means what? It won't return anything. Then this method will be accessible without using any object. Just you can access by using class name dot method. That's what here we are indicating. Static.
Okay. So that we don't have to create a object of a class.
Yes, name. Right. Yes. Entire Salesforce development class method. That's it. Nothing else. If you know how to prepare the class, how to prepare the method, how to invoke the methods, then development is very, very simple. Everywhere in every program, we are preparing a class, preparing the method, writing the business logic, and then you can invoke. So it's the same procedure we used to follow. Now, so let me place this code. No, I'm indicating this, more point. Static methods can be invoked by using class name dot method name. Static methods can be invoked by using class name dot method name. This is the syntax. Okay. So this is how we are going to be preparing the methods, and we can able to write the business logic inside this. Now, suppose for example, I'm invoking this method first time. it will create 50 records, 50 contacts. Second time, I'm invoking the same method. It will create 50 records, same, with the same details. Third time, it is creating, I'm invoking this method. So it will create 50 more records again. So with the same details. But in some cases, what I need to do, I don't want to make it as, okay, non-parameterized. I want to pass some input values. I want to pass some input values based on my application requirement. Now here in this case, how can we do this one? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so now in this case, I want to pass some parameters right now. Okay, I want to pass some parameters. How can we pass the parameters to this particular method? We'll see practically. Now, the next thing, parameterized procedures. So what do you mean by parameterized? Parameter in the sense input. Okay, parameters in the sense input. Parameterized procedures means what? We can able to create some procedures which can take some input values at runtime. Which can take some input values. Then how to pass the input values, we'll see practically. So whenever I'm passing some input, based on that input values, it has to perform some operation. Based on some input values, it has to perform some operation. Like for example, I have login screen. So in that login screen, we are giving two inputs. One is username, second one is password. Based on that username and the password which we have given, it will work. It will verify whether those username and the password or the credentials are valid or not. If it is valid, it will take some decision. If it is not valid, it will be giving some more message to you like as invalid username or password. You can pass any username password also, it will verify that. Based on the credentials which are supplied at runtime, it will decide, it will validate internally. Like the similar way, we can pass some input also to the procedure. As of now, we have created the procedures also, but which doesn't take any input parameters over here. Simply it is having that open braces, close braces. That means here this is a non-parameterized. Okay, now I want to pass some parameters also to my procedure. How to pass, we'll see with the help of parameterized procedures concept. By using these parameterized procedures, here also we can prepare the procedures which will take some input values at runtime. Which will take some input values at runtime. Based on that input values, it is performing some certain operations. Okay, now by using this feature, we can create the procedures which can take the input values at runtime and will perform the operations on the input values and will print the results. And will print the results. Okay. It will print the results. So by using this parameterized procedures, we can create the procedures which can take some input values at runtime. That means not only at the time of definition, we need to pass the values at runtime. Upon running that application, we can pass that input value. So based on that input values, it will be performing the respective operations over here. So based on the input values which we have supplied at runtime, it will be performing that respective operations. Now, That possibility is available as part of this parameterized procedure. Then how many parameters we can pass at one time? Not only one, multiple parameters also. Okay, unlimited number of parameters, unlimited number of input values we can supply at one time. We can supply one or more input values to the procedure at runtime. We can supply one or more input values to the procedure at runtime. That means not only one, we can pass multiple input values also to the procedure at runtime. Now, so now here in this case, how can we pass these input values to the procedures at runtime? Now let's see. I'm defining the procedure here. What is the syntax we need to follow? Specify the access specifier, and then specify the keyword void and the procedure name, and then pass the parameters here. How to pass the parameters here? Now let's see. Okay. First of all, we have to specify the data type of the parameter and then parameter name. What is the parameter name? We can specify. Next one, data type and then parameter name. Data type, parameter name. Like that, we can able to pass a number of parameters. Data type, parameter name. So now here in this case, what happened? We can able to prepare the procedure which can able to take some input parameters. How many? Not only one, multiple also. So upon passing the parameters, each and every parameter should be supplied with data type and parameter. Okay, every parameter should be getting passed with data type and parameter name over here. Okay, now we need to pass the data type of that particular parameter and then parameter name also we have to supply. Now, so now here in this case, here we have to specify that data type of the parameter and the parameter name also we need to supply. Now, so I would like to pass the parameters here. So upon passing the parameters, every parameter should be having the data type parameter name. Parameter name you can give anything. ABC, XYZ, like that. But don't give a single character. Generally, the people are having some habituate, like as they will be passing integer X, integer Y, like that. Don't pass the single character names. Please pass a meaningful name for the parameter so that the people can understand. Now, so now in this case, we have to specify the access specifier and then specify the return type as void and the procedure name. What exactly the name of the procedure, and then pass the parameter. This is the first parameter over here. This is the first parameter. This is the second parameter over here. This is the third parameter. Like that, we can pass n number of parameters also. That means n number of input values also we can supply. Why I'm giving this point is when you go to some other programming like a Java or .NET, there they will be having the possibility for the procedure we can supply maximum of 2048 parameters. Like as 1024 input parameters, 1024 output parameters for those programming languages. But in Salesforce, we don't have such kind of limitations. You can pass n number of input parameters also. That's what I'm stressing out this point. We don't have any such limitations for the procedures. We can pass n number of parameters also for a procedure. That possibility is available. Now, in this case here, how to prepare these procedures, we'll see practically now. For example, I'm preparing a procedure over here. Like for example, I'm preparing the class. Public class, I'm indicating here. I'm indicating a class. Like some math operations. Math operations. I'm indicating that class name as math operations helper. This is the class. I'm preparing a procedure over here. Public static void addition. I'm preparing a method with the name addition. Here I'm writing the business logic. Write the business logic. Now, here I need to pass addition in the sense what I need to pass two input values so that it will do the addition. So now we need to pass the parameters. What two values you want me to do the addition? To add the two values, first of all, two values should be there, right? Then what are those two values? We need to supply here. I need to pass those values at runtime. So now for that one, I would like to pass two parameters. So addition in the sense what? We are performing that addition of sum of two values. So we need to pass two values of type numerical. Numerical means what? Integer. So give the data type as integer, give the parameter name. For example, I'm passing X. Second parameter, integer sum Y. So these are the two parameters here I'm passing at runtime. So first parameter will be of type integer. This is the parameter name is X. Second parameter is also of type integer. This is also named Y. Like that here we need to pass multiple parameters also. Okay. So each and every parameter will be having data type, parameter name, comma, data type, parameter name. Okay. Now, second procedure I'm preparing like this. Public static void check equals. I want to check whether the two string values are equals or not. Business logic will see how to write that. I will show you. I want to pass two string values. How to pass? First string value. String some S1. You can give any parameter name. String some S2. Okay. String some S2. Like this. Now I'm preparing one more procedure that already you know. Inside a single class, we can pass, we can create n number of procedures also inside a single class. You know that. Next, public static void delete bulk accounts. I want to delete that bulk account records over there. Write the business logic. Okay, write the business logic. I want to delete some bulk records. How can we pass the bulk records? If you want to delete the account record, what we need? Record ID. How to pass the record ID is list of ID. LST IDs. You can pass the parameter name. I'm indicating LST IDs. So not only the primitive type, any type of parameter we can supply. I'm passing that list of ID. Okay, now I'm preparing one more procedure here. I'm giving different combinations to you. Now, public static void get related cases per account. I'm passing the account record, account sum ACC. I'm passing one account record. Based on that account record, I want to collect all the related contacts. Write the business logic. Okay, this is how we can able to prepare the parameterized procedures by defining the procedure, okay, with the respective parameters. With the respective parameters, we can able to define. Now, upon preparing the procedure, we can pass not only one n number of parameters also. Each parameter will be having the data type, parameter name. Data type, parameter name, we can able to supply over here. This is how we need to define the parameters, okay, procedures with parameters inside your Apex program. Now, so in this case, how can we define a class, how to define the procedures, and how to invoke this one? Now let's see. Suppose if you want to invoke this procedure, then how can we invoke here? Okay, now invoking the procedure, invoking the parameterized procedures. Now, so in this case, what happened? Suppose, for example, if you want to invoke this procedure addition, what it is expecting? It is expecting 2 integer values over here. We need to pass 2 input values, or else it won't do any other operation. It won't insert, it won't perform the operation. So it is expecting 2 input values. One is X, second one is Y. Okay, so we have to pass 2 values over here. Now, in this case here, upon invoking the procedure, we have to supply the required input values to the procedure at runtime. So at runtime, we need to pass the values for the procedure at runtime over here. Now, the syntax. We can specify the object name of the procedure, object name of the class, and then procedure name. Procedure name, here we can pass the parameters, nothing but value. For the parameter, value 1. For the parameter 2, value 2. Like that, here we can able to pass value n number of values we can able to supply. For example, my class name is what? Because these are the static procedures. Okay, these are the static methods are available. So how to invoke the static methods? Now we can able to specify that. So now here I'm going to be indicating this, the class name dot method name. Math operations. Math operations helper dot addition. So if I'm calling this one, then this addition method is expecting some two values, right? This addition method is expecting two values. What will be of type? First one is integer, second one is also integer. Two numerical values you have to supply by giving a comma over here. Through comma, we can able to make it separate. Now I'm passing this one. I'm passing the value 2450 and then 5000. I'm passing two values. Then this first value will be storing inside this x variable. Second value will be storing inside this y variable. And then based on these values, you can perform the operations. Now, I want to invoke this check equals method. How can we do this one? So at that time, we can able to specify math operations helper dot check equals. We need to pass us two string parameters, so that I'm passing the first parameter as hello, second parameter welcome. I will verify whether both the strings are equals or not. If both are equals, it will return true, or it will print the message both the strings are equals, else it will be printing the message both are different. Like that. Okay, like that we can able to perform the operation. So we can pass the values at runtime. Then how can we do that? Now let me show you with a practical example. So we have to prepare the procedures, define the parameters also, and then upon invoking that procedure, we have to pass the values also for those parameters. Now, so in this case, how can we do this one? Now let's see. Let's take a small
these methods like the check equals, how we will get to know like these are the methods available? These are the string method like that or something?
No, these are the methods which we are preparing. This is our own class, our own methods.
Okay.
Which we are preparing.
Okay.
If you want to see what are the methods are there inside a specific class, just go to that object name dot. You can able to see all the list of method names. Okay. Now let's take a small use case. Create an affix class to perform all the mathematical and string operations on the input values. Create an affix class to perform all the mathematical and string operations on the input values. Then how can we create this class? Now let's see practically in this case. And then how to supply the values at runtime, we'll see. So let me create a class. I'm creating a new Apex class with the name common helper, for example. Common helper class. I'm giving the class name as common helper. Generally, when you go to that other institutes, the people while giving the training for the class, they're giving the name like as class 1, class 2, example 1, example 2. Don't give those names like this. Like as use common helper, accounts helper, contacts helper. Like that, you can give the names like that so that they can understand. So why I'm giving this common helper? This is a helper method. Helper class means what? Which will be giving so many ready-made methods to you, which is having so many methods which are prepared, which you are using in different places. These are the common methods which we are using here. Why I have given the class name as contact records helper? This class is used to perform the operations on contact record. That's what I have given like as contact records helper. If you're performing the operations on lead record, then you can give the class name like as lead helper or lead records helper. You can give any name, but don't give the class name like as example 1, example 2, class 1, class 2, like that. Don't give the names. Please give the meaningful format of those class names. That is what they will observe in the interview point of view. So because these are the coding standards, because during the end of the development course, I will share you one document to you. Okay, I will share you one document to you that is like as coding standards document. So now I will share some coding standards document. For the development, separate standards you have to follow. For the admin, you have to follow separate standards. These two are the mandatory principles you have to follow in the real time. Writing the code is not important. Okay, maintaining the standards are very important. Okay, Developing the application is easy. Maintaining the application is a bit difficult. We can develop the application by spending 6 months, but we need to give the support for lifelong to the customer. Lifelong, we have to do the maintenance of that application. So we have to write the code in a proper format, in the proper standards. That is most important. Now, I will share all these documents to you at the end of this development course also. So now let's see here. I'm giving that class names over here. Now, sometimes in the interview point of view, to check whether you are genuine or fake, they will ask you to please explain, okay, please give me some list of class names which you have created in your project. Then what we can say? Do we need to give example 1, example 2, example 3 like that? No. We have to give some class names. Because this is like some logical question they will raise in the interview point of view. Can you give me some class names which are prepared inside your project? Then you can explain that. You know all these things, common helper 1 class, contacts helper, lead helper. Like that we have created so many classes, so you can explain very easily. No need to think. Don't give the chance to the people. If you're thinking, that means you are not a genuine person. That's what here. Don't give the chance to the people. No. So now here I'm creating a method inside this. Public static void addition. I'm passing 2 input parameters, integer x, integer y. 2 parameters I'm passing. I want to display the sum of these 2 values. Now, sum of the values is I want to perform the sum. How can we perform the sum value? Because I want to give x plus y. Whatever the addition of these 2 values, x plus y, I'm collecting that. I'm going to display this message over here. Sum of the values is I want to show this value. I want to do the calculation of that multiplication. Public static void multiplication. You can give any method name, whatever you want. I'm passing 3 values. Integer x, integer y, integer z. 3 parameters I'm passing over here. I want to do that multiplication. Multiplication result is how to get the multiplication over here. We have to pass. Okay, we have to indicate x into y into z. I'm going to be performing the multiplication of all the 3 values. I'm printing the result. Like the similar way, I want to do the calculation on some string parameters. Now, so now what I will do is, I'm going to be checking for the, I would like to concatenate 2 strings. For that one, I'm using public static void concatenate. Okay, concatenate. I want to concatenate the 2 strings so that I'm passing string s1, string s2. 2 string values I'm passing over here. I would like to concatenate. System.debug concatenation. Result is I would like to indicate that s1 plus s2. You know that, but the concatenation addition we are using the same symbol. Next, the next one. Public static void check equals. I want to check whether 2 strings are equals or not. I'm passing the 2 strings. String s1, string s2. I want to verify both the strings are equals or not. If s1 is equals to s2, if both are equals, I want to show the message system.debug both the strings are equals. Else system.debug both the strings are different. Both the strings are different. So this is how we can prepare the methods also inside this Apex program. So we can define the methods, not only one, multiple also. This is one procedure which we have defined with the 2 input value. This is the second procedure. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. 4 procedures we have defined. Like that, n number of procedures we can define inside a single class. That possibility is there. Then how can we invoke these procedures? Now let's see. Now my class name is common helper. So I would like to call this common helper dot. Now it is populating all the methods: addition, check equals, concatenate, multiplication, like that. It is populating. So now addition. How many parameters we need to pass? 2 parameters. First one is integer, second one also the integer. Now if I'm calling like this, observe what will happen. It will show the message, okay, incorrect method name or signature. It will raise the exception. Click on execute, observe this. Let's see. It is giving that method does not exist or incorrect signature. That means, so with the name addition, we don't have any method without any parameters inside this common helper class. But there is a method is there with the name addition in the common helper, but it is expecting 2 input values. So we have to pass 2 values, 200, 4500, 2 values I'm supplying here. Now, next one, common helper dot concatenate. I'm going to be calling this method concatenate, which is expecting 2 string parameters. I'm passing like as hello. Second one, I'm passing like as welcome. 2 string parameters I'm passing. Common helper dot check equals, whether both the strings are equals or not. I'm passing these values. Like as some welcome, I'm giving like as some Hyderabad. 2 string values I'm passing over here. So now I want to verify both are equals or not. I want to get this. So to call this addition method, I'm passing 2 values. So it will be collecting these 2 values. It will perform. In this case, what will happen? Whenever I'm going to be calling this method, then whatever the 100 value, 200 value has supplied, this value will be storing inside this x variable. This 4500 value will be storing inside this y variable. So it will take this x value 200, y value 4500. It will do the addition over here. It will print the result to me over here. That's it. Simple concept. Okay. So now here I am giving one more small point over here. Whatever the order we have defined the parameters, in the same order we have to pass the values over here. Suppose this is integer and this is a string. Then we have to pass integer string. If you're passing the reverse format, it will give the error message. So whatever the order we have defined the parameters, in the same order we have to supply the values also. This is one of the principle we have to supply here. Now let me execute this piece of code. Click on execute. See the result. It will invoke these methods. Now we can see some of these 2 values are 4700. Concatenation result is hello welcome. Now it is giving the message both the strings are different, because here it is using that 2 different strings are available over here. One is hello, second one is first one is welcome, second one is Hyderabad. We have supplied, both are different. So it is indicating both the strings are not equal, both are different. Like this, we can able to supply the value for your procedures at that time. Okay. Now, so let me place this code. Class code, execution. I'm invoking this piece of code. Okay. This is how we are going to be executing this business logics. Tomorrow we'll see some more examples on these procedures. I will go with some more how to insert the records by passing the values at runtime. We'll see practically, and then we'll move forward to that some more concept like as SOQL queries. Okay. So do the practice on this one today. Tomorrow we'll see some more examples on this one.